A judge scoffed at Elon Musk in court, only to watch in disbelief as Musk dismantled the prosecution, argument by argument. The courtroom in San Jose, California, was packed. Journalists, legal experts, and curious spectators filled the wooden benches, expecting to witness a standard corporate lawsuit. But this wasn't just any lawsuit. This was Elon Musk versus the Federal Regulatory Commission. Billions of dollars were at stake, and what started as a legal battle over business autonomy had escalated into something far greater. Some believed the outcome could set a precedent that would redefine corporate law in the U.S. Others were eager to see Musk humbled, his empire brought under stricter government control. Seated at the judge's bench was Ronald Beckett, a seasoned veteran of the legal system, leaning back with an expression of mild amusement. He was known for his no-nonsense demeanor, having spent decades handling cases involving corporate titans. But this was Elon Musk. He studied the defendant, who sat at the table in his usual way, relaxed yet attentive, his hands folded, his face unreadable. No high-profile attorneys by his side. No elite legal team whispering in his ear. Musk had made an unusual decision. He was representing himself. Some called it bold, others called it reckless. Beckett exhaled through his nose, suppressing a smirk. "Mr. Musk, are you certain you don't want legal representation? This is a highly complex case." A murmur spread through the courtroom. The media had already framed the trial as Musk's arrogance versus the U.S. government. The idea that he would face off against a team of top government attorneys alone seemed almost absurd. Musk simply tilted his head. "I think I'll manage." A chuckle came from the prosecution's table. Thomas Langford, the lead attorney for the Federal Regulatory Commission, exchanged a knowing look with his colleagues. Musk's confidence was amusing, but they all believed they knew how this would end. Langford stood, buttoning his suit jacket. "Your Honor, if I may." Beckett nodded. "Proceed." Langford strode to the center of the room, his voice carrying the polished confidence of a man who had won more cases than he could count. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today because Mr. Musk believes he is above the law. He thinks his companies can operate without oversight, without accountability, that the rules that apply to every other business in America somehow don't apply to him." He turned toward Musk, his lips curling into a slight smile. "Now, we all admire Mr. Musk's contributions to technology and innovation. But the law is the law. No one is exempt. Today, we will demonstrate that Tesla, SpaceX, and his other ventures have repeatedly violated federal guidelines, prioritizing profits over people." The judge gave a small nod. "Mr. Musk, your response?" Musk didn't stand immediately. He ran a hand along his chin, as if deciding whether it was even worth responding. Then, with deliberate ease, he rose to his feet, adjusted his blazer, and spoke in a calm, measured tone. "Your Honor, I'm not here because I believe I'm above the law. I'm here because I believe the law should serve the people, not the other way around." A few whispers rippled through the audience. "Regulation is necessary. I understand that. But when regulations are used to hinder innovation instead of protecting consumers, we have a problem. The laws my companies are accused of violating? They were written for a world that no longer exists. They were designed for industries that have remained stagnant for decades. I'm not ignoring the law. I'm questioning whether the law still serves its purpose." Beckett raised an eyebrow. "That sounds like a legislative argument, Mr. Musk. This is a courtroom." A faint smirk appeared on Musk's face. "Then let's talk facts." Langford stepped forward, unimpressed. "With all due respect, Mr. Musk, the facts are not in your favor." But Musk didn't look at him. Instead, he locked eyes with the judge. The facts, Musk said, are about to change. The atmosphere in the courtroom shifted. Judge Beckett's smirk faded slightly. Even Langford's confidence wavered. No one knew just how drastically the momentum was about to turn. Langford scoffed and turned back to the judge. "Your Honor, let's cut through the theatrics. The core issue here is simple. Mr. Musk's companies have repeatedly disregarded federal safety regulations, financial disclosure requirements, and environmental policies. The evidence is extensive." He gestured toward a thick stack of documents. "We are not dealing with minor infractions. This is a blatant disregard for federal law." Langford paced, letting the weight of his words settle. "The question before this court is clear. Do we allow billionaires to rewrite the rules for themselves? Or do we hold them accountable like every other business in America?" Langford paused, his gaze fixed on Musk, daring him to refute the claim. Musk didn't blink. Judge Beckett leaned forward slightly. "Mr. Musk, the prosecution has made its argument. You may respond." Musk stepped forward. His expression was calm, thoughtful. "Thank you, Your Honor." He turned to the jury, his voice steady. "Mr. Langford presents a compelling case. There's just one issue. It's completely wrong." A murmur rippled through the courtroom. Langford's jaw tightened. Musk gestured toward the stack of documents in front of the prosecution. "What you see here is a collection of outdated policies being used as a weapon against progress. They claim we violated safety regulations. What they won't tell you is that those regulations were written for vehicles designed decades ago." He paused, letting it sink in. "They say we didn't comply. I say the rules never accounted for self-driving technology, for human spaceflight, for energy systems that can power entire cities. We aren't violating laws. We are operating beyond them." Judge Beckett narrowed his eyes. "Beyond them?" Musk nodded. "Yes, and that's the real issue here. The law should protect the public. But what happens when laws prevent progress instead?" Langford scoffed. "That's a convenient argument, Mr. Musk. The truth is you ignored federal oversight because it was inconvenient." He turned back to the judge. "Your Honor, I'd like to present Exhibit A." A large screen flickered to life, displaying an internal Tesla email. Langford zoomed in on a highlighted passage. This document states that production continued despite known software failures in Tesla's autopilot system. He turned to Musk. "Your own engineers identified a risk, and yet you moved forward." Musk studied the screen, then shook his head. "Context is everything, Mr. Langford." Langford crossed his arms. "Then provide it." Musk turned to the jury. "The failures he references, they were minor calibration issues in a beta program. They were identified, fixed, and improved. That's how innovation works. You test, you refine, you move forward." Langford smirked. "So you admit the failures existed?" Musk's expression remained unchanged. Failures exist in every industry. The difference is, when a government agency makes a mistake, it gets buried in paperwork. When a company like mine makes a mistake, we fix it. Fast. A low murmur ran through the courtroom. Even the jurors exchanged glances. Judge Beckett tapped his pen. "Gentlemen, let's stay on track." Musk met the judge's eyes. "I am, Your Honor. I'm focused on what actually matters."